What's going on, everyone? CJ back here with another episode of the Madden 23 Cupcake Relocation Franchise. Last episode, we suffered our worst loss of the season, a 35-14 beating at the hands of the Buffalo Bills. Not only did we look terrible, and I will go out on a limb to say that that was my personal worst performance of this season, we also sunk down to third place now, tied with the Colts, who, of course, we lost to them a couple episodes ago. Still trying to get that taste out of my mouth, but we are technically third place in the AFC South. So got a little bit of work to do. Last week was very disheartening. The Bills had 4 sacks. It was a combination of Von Miller and Greg Rousseau. Damon Sanders threw 3 interceptions. He had a lost fumble. I had 2 missed kicks, 2 missed field goals. I kicked a ball out of bounds on a kickoff, and I got so upset at the latter parts of that video, I stopped talking, stopped recording essentially, and benched Damon Sanders and brought in Brett Hundley. Of course, there's no footage of that because I was too pissed to even care at that point, and Brett Hundley even threw an interception. So it was just all in all a bad game. Got to redeem ourselves this week here in week 8, but we're taking on a tough foe who we've already played a couple times and had 2 very different results in the Cleveland Browns. So after the pressure that I saw last week, I have decided to make the executive decision. I got the call from good old Cupcake McGee, and he gave me the okay to do this. I have not made a trade this season, and you guys know I allow myself 2 trades per season. I am going to go ahead and do one of those trades right now, and I am going to try to improve this offensive line. So if we take a look and see what our offensive line looks like, I mean, it's good. There's no denying that. Rodney Hudson is a superstar. He is old, but still performing at a high level. Kenyon Green's an up-and-coming left guard. He's star development, 75 rated overall. Ronnie Stanley is great. He's got that threat detector ability, who highlights blitzers when we have blitzers on the field on 3rd and 4th down. Jedrick Wills is back. He was hurt a couple games. So I think that right guard, Darrell Williams, this is the only really true weak spot. And it's not even really a weak spot, honestly. Darrell Williams is very good, but if there is any spot that we can improve in, it would be the right guard department. And you know what? I was thinking about this. Yes, I was up for days thinking about that loss to the Buffalo Bills. Not really, but I was thinking about it off and on. And I know just the player that I am going to try to acquire. And I think that if we can acquire this kind sir right here, that it'll make our offensive line quite possibly the best in the NFL. So we're flipping on over to the Cowboys roster. Some of you guys may already know who I have in mind now. Zach Martin, 33 years old. Yes, he is a little bit elderly, the elder statesman. But he's a 95, I wish he was 95 rated overall player, and that would just be incredible to get him. So he is a superstar. Let's take a look at the abilities he has here. I want to see, assuming that we can acquire him, what I may want. So screen protector, I don't really care about that. Threat detector, we don't really need that. Polar elite blockers with this ability will frequently attempt and win pull blocks. Yes, that will help out our running game. And the other ability that I would like for him to have is, let's see, lifeguard, defend against swim club moves, tear proof, additional pass rusher point. I don't really even truly know how those work. Secure protector, let's do natural talent. Blockers with this ability will start every new blocking encounter with built-in resistance. I don't know what that resistance honestly does, but I know it's good, and I know I want more of it. So let's see what it can possibly take to acquire Zach Martin. Now, one thing, this may not be the most realistic, but obviously you guys know this is the last hoorah for the Austin Armadillos with Madden 24 coming out. So I don't really care about our draft capital. So definitely a round 1 pick for next year. Let's just see what that does. We'll test the waters. And it doesn't really make the Cowboys interested at all. Their top team needs are left end, right tackle, and left guard. So we're not giving any of our defensive ends, but we can definitely part ways with Darrell Williams, or maybe potentially our rookie that we just drafted, Damian Henson. Let's see if they have any added interest in Damian Henson. They have a lot of interest in. So I know that we just drafted Damian Henson, but I don't care. I want Zach Martin. So what does that do? It doesn't do anything at all. Damian Henson might as well not even have green interest. This might be a little tough to acquire Zach Martin, but let me see if I can finagle anything, see what we can do here, and see if we can bring in old Zach to the Armadillos. Okay, so a trade for Zach Martin, it was impossible. We don't have enough high draft capital, and we don't have enough good players, and they value him way too much. So I tried numerous different things, and it just wasn't happening. So I will settle for the next best thing. We're going to bring in Shaq Mason, right guard from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're going to give him our first-round draft pick and Jawan Taylor. So not Zach Martin, but not mad. Not Zach Martin, but not mad. And that still will make our offensive line much better. Shaq Mason is an 86 rated overall player. He is star development. He's going to slide very nicely. Where's he at? Shaq Mason, no, you are not going to be a left guard, my friend. You are going to be a right guard. We'll go ahead and change him real quick to right guard because I still want Kenyon Green playing. He is a very good up-and-coming guard. So, well, he is right guard, so what the heck. Madden, what are you doing with my depth chart here, Madden? All right, there we go. Looking much better here. So our offensive line, lots of silvers and lots of golds. Hopefully that will help to give Damon Sanders a little bit more time and also maybe help in the run game with Don Fitzpatrick and Khalid Kramer. Although I see Khalid Kramer is now down here below Alex Collins, and that is definitely not going to happen. Also, we got T. Higgins back this week. So, guys, we are finally healthy for the first time, I think, all season. We're 100% healthy. We're going to need it as we take on the Cleveland Browns here. Cleveland Browns, we're no stranger to this team. We've played them twice. First game, Nick Chubb broke the rushing record on us, which was fun. I had nightmares after that game. Second game, Deshaun Watson, his receivers couldn't complete a pass. So defending the short pass is going to be our game plan. For this one, we're going to stay in half pad split because I do not want to risk any more injuries. Offensive focus, yes, blitz counter. Of course, they have Myles Garrett. And, you know, their defense, this Browns roster is stacked, man. I really hope in real life, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't just absolutely ball out next season in real life, but it's the Cleveland Browns. I've been watching this team since I was about 8 years old, and I'm 33 now, and trust me, if there's a team that will find a way to mess things up, it is the Cleveland Browns. But their roster is just completely stacked. Offensively, defensively, they got it going on. And here in Madden, they're stacked as well. So it's going to be a tough one. And we really need a bounce back game after last week. And we're not really playing the right team that you would want to play when you're in need of a bounce back game. Peeping the Browns roster here really quick. They still got Deshaun Watson, the now 8-year man from Clemson. He's a superstar in this game. Nick Chubb, don't need to talk about this fella. It is going to be a struggle today. I am absolutely convinced. They got rookie Carson Hartman at fullback out of Iowa. Wide receivers, I mean, as you guys can see, they got X factors and superstars everywhere. They got Amari Cooper, David Bell, pretty good up-and-coming receiver. They brought in Diami Brown, Michael Woods. So, you know, weapons everywhere for Watson. David Njoku, very good tight end. He had a monster game against us, I can recall. Offensive line, they got Chuck LaMontagne. I remember scouting him. Very good left tackle. Joel Bitonio, also one of the best in the business. Dawson Deaton and Phillip Walker. So their center position is lacking a bit. Wyatt Teller. I also tried, since I couldn't get Zach Martin in that trade, I did try to test the waters for Wyatt Teller, which would have been funny, making a trade for a team that we're playing this week, but that also just wasn't happening too good. Jack Conklin, their offensive line is also stacked. Defensively, Deshaun Hand's not here, so Isaiah Thomas is going to be their starting left end. No introduction needed for this guy right here, Myles Garrett. Hopefully bringing in Shaq Mason, going to help bolster this offensive line a bit. Defensive tackles, they got David Onyemata and rookie from TCU, Damon Ridley. So pretty good defensive tackles. Linebackers, they got Quincy Williams, found his way to Cleveland in this simulation here in Madden. Deion Jones, middle linebacker, he is still here. And Jeremiah Gemmel are the Mikes. JOK, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, also very good young up-and-coming linebacker from Notre Dame. He was hurt a lot in his rookie campaign in real life, but I expect big things from him. Corners also very good too. Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome. Looks like Sidney Jones found his way over here. Martin Emerson. So there's not really any weak spots, maybe here in the secondary, as we have the Browns secondary, their secondary from real life. We got John Johnson III and we got John Grant Delpit on this team. So they have Marcus Epps now and Jordan Fuller. So secondary, maybe the deep secondary, the safeties might be their only true weakness. Jason Sanders is their kicker, and Jamie Gillen, the Scottish Hammer, is going to be their punter. Browns only 3-4 though. So what does that mean? Does that mean that they have had guys hurt? Does that mean that they're playing down to the competition? I don't know, but as we look across the board here, although we got some, we got some superstars too. We're nothing to shy away from here. We're good in our own right. But yeah, man, this is a game we need. We got to keep pace in this, what looks to be competitive AFC South. We're taking on the Cleveland Browns, where we've played them before. So without further ado, let's get down to First Energy Stadium and get ready for the game. So we are going to kick the ball off first to Deshaun Watson and company. I love this field here in First Energy Stadium, man. The grass all neatly manicured. They got the brownie elf there in the middle of the field. I really like it. I'm a fan of it. But I hope to be doing some damage on this stadium, on this field here at First Energy Stadium, as we get a look at Deshaun Watson. About a 2-to-1 interception ratio, so having a fine season. Maybe we can force those INT numbers up a little bit today, or will he just be content to give the ball to Nick Chubb and run the offense through him? Either way, it's a lose-lose. As I mentioned, this Browns roster is stacked. So Watson now going to start out of the I formation. So it is going to not be a give to Nick Chubb. It's going to be a play fake. Bruh. And there is, it's a dump off to their fullback, Carson Hartman. I'm not sure what Akeem Davis-Gaither was doing. He completely just missed that tackle there. So the fullback gets a 33-yard reception out of the backfield. Definitely, when I mentioned the weapons that these Cleveland Browns have, we're going to have to worry about their fullback making big, huge plays out of the backfield. This is going to be a long episode, so hopefully that was just a one-off. So we'll come out with our 46 defense here, stack up, hopefully to prevent against this run. And Keegan McGriff got a big Nick Chubb base plant there. But luckily, Grant Delpit, the former Cleveland Brown, was there to wrap him up. So now the Browns are coming out of the trips shotgun formation to the right. Got Nick Chubb behind Deshaun Watson, and Watson is surveying out of the shotgun. And that was De'Ami Brown, the receiver, but he just let it slip through his fingertips. And I'll tell you what, we've seen that before with this Cleveland Browns team. Not sure why, but hey, I'll take it. Receivers, they want to drop the ball today here. I am totally fine with that. We'll see what Watson does. Going to be a dump off to Nick Chubb, and Nick Chubb catches it out of the backfield. There was nobody there guarding him, and Nick Chubb brings it down to the 10-yard line. Just like that, the Browns are already in striking distance. Like I said, guys, this is going to be very tough. The Browns are not to be trifled with in this game. Watson coming out of shotgun again here. I brought our 46 defense onto the field, which was probably not the best thing to do, but I did it anyways. And Watson almost got sacked there. Looks like that was Marcus Davenport in the backfield, made him throw it away way before he wanted to, and the pass fell to the ground and it was inaccurate. So maybe the 46 defense was a good thing. I'll tell you what though, we're gonna go dime blitz this time. I feel really good about going dime blitz here. We'll see if we can get some more pressure back there in the backfield. Not gonna matter, it's gonna be a give to Chubb, but we had Jalen Burnett, the 2-year man out of Vanderbilt, was there to stuff Nick Chubb and luckily forced the Cleveland Browns into a third down. Big third down now. We are gonna shade inside here, and just got to be mindful of all these weapons that Deshaun Watson has at his disposal. He could literally go anywhere. He chooses to go to Cooper. Cooper barrel rolls.
Do a barrel roll.
I think he might have been able to get into the end zone there, but he secure caught it. And they're on the 2-yard line. Let's see what the Browns do. Let's see how aggressive Kevin Stefanski wants to be. Hopefully they just settle for a field goal, and they're not. They are going to go for it. So I don't blame him. I do not blame him at all. I would probably do the same thing, but is it going to be a run to Nick Chubb? Is it going to be a pass? I don't know. Can we make a huge defensive stand? It is going to be a run to Nick Chubb, and we stopped him. None other than Christian Harris. About the only time the ball's just floating there, possessed in the field. But about the only time that we call Christian Harris's name, is on those goal line sets, but that is where he makes his money. That is where he earns his bread and butter, and we do come up with a stop. So Damon Sanders here, he was at about a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. Now it's a little bit worse, 14 TDs to 9 picks, but that is due in part to that 3 interception performance that you all had to suffer through last week. So sorry about that. Got to get out of our own end zone though. So we are going to give it to one Dom Fitzpatrick, hoping for a big gain from him today. He's had a couple big games so far in this season. And, you know, he's also had a couple games that weren't so good. So if we can just maybe get the old Fitz train chugga choo-chooing along the tracks here, take some of this pressure off of Damon Sanders, that would be wonderful indeed. So we'll see if we can maybe kick it outside. That would be great if we could. We do got some pretty good blockers. Dom with a nice juke, but he was stopped there at the very last second by Jordan Fuller, the strong safety, but I will take that. Dom Fitzpatrick gets us up to the 15-yard line. Remember now, we do have T. Higgins back. So T. Higgins was just starting to break out this year before he got injured. Could be looking for some high point situations to him. Nah, we'll just check it down to Ronnie Ellerby, our rookie out of Alabama, and he is able to pick up 15. He played very well when Bruce Joyner was sidelined. I think that and he's hidden development too. Probably star. I wouldn't be, you know, I would be surprised if he was superstar, but I think we got a pretty good 1-2 punch with him and Bruce Joyner. So now we are, you know, in breathable territory out of the shadows of our own end zone here. So it's 1st and 10. We're going to come out empty. We got Higgins and Menchie to our right. Maybe one of those guys could get open. Nope. It's going to be a sack by Myles Garrett, which I feel like there's going to be a lot of those plays called, today. He just completely owned, I'm not sure who that was. I think that was Jedrick Wills over there on that side, but he just completely owned him, and he got right to Damon Sanders way too easily. All right, Dom, we need you to block a little bit, brother, because we got Myles. Let's actually double team Myles Garrett too. Yeah, I think that's a smart move here. Got to snap this ball here. We got couple different options we could go to. There's McCole, and McCole Hardman with the secure catch gets us very close to the first down sticks. That is going to make it 3rd and inches. McCole Hardman, we didn't, for the first time I think ever, we didn't call his name really at all last week, and that's very strange because McCole Hardman, if you guys have been watching this season here, you would know that he's been a huge integral part of this offense. But now it's time to shut up and pick this up. Dom Fitzpatrick, can you do it? I think that you can. Prove me right. Oh, big hole there from Dom. Big hole there from Dom. He was finally brought down there by Quincy Williams. But Dom Fitzpatrick running good. Got the fresh legs. And this one, he's already up to 25 yards. And I'm loving what I am seeing from Dom. I would love for Dom to have a pretty big breakout game, you know, $125, $150, something like that. I wouldn't be mad at it. So 1st and 10, we're going to come out of the shotgun here, but it's going to be a fake end around, fake little give and go to McCole Hardman here. Hopefully someone can get open downfield, and I think I do see somebody. Is that John? John Menchie, there we go. Okay, John Menchie almost got traded.
What?
Because I had him in the trade package when I was trying to finagle something for Zach Martin and or Wyatt Teller. So John Menchie doesn't even know that he was almost out of Austin, but maybe it's a good thing that he wasn't, because John Menchie is pretty good. He's played very well for us this season, and he just picked up a huge one there and brought this thing all the way down to the 26. So now we are playing very well here, and we have a chance to take an early lead. Also, we'll get the ball back at halftime. So a quick strike would be very nice here, and we just couldn't get that block there from Ronnie Stanley that we needed on the edge, and that's a loss of 2 from Dom Fitzpatrick. Browns got one safety deep there, and T. Higgins is getting pressed. So this might be just the Moss opportunity that I'm looking for, and oh my God, I just vastly overshot that one. T. Higgins is 6'4", but I don't even think that he could have climbed the ladder to get that one. So that one was kind of on me. Even if we don't get this, we're in field goal range, but you guys watched me miss. If you watched last episode, you watched me miss 2 kicks. So I'm not really confident that I can boot this thing through the uprights. So we kind of got to just go out here and pick this up. There's T. Can he get it done? Yes, he can. Right there in the middle of the field. That is why I love T. Higgins. He's a big body receiver. We can thread the needle there. Even when he knows he's about to face contact, You know, he can secure that ball. He can come down with an aggressive catch, and he just did right there. And now we're on the 6-yard line. First and goal here, coming out empty. Might have some drags here in the middle of the field, which we do, but it's only going to result in a pickup of 3. So not really what I wanted. Second and goal here, I think that maybe T. Higgins might be able to beat the corner on the slant there, but we also got to watch out for the linebackers. But oh no, it's T. It's got to be T. Welcome back to Austin, T. Higgins. We missed you, brother. First game back, already fine in the end zone, already fine in pay dirt, and that is going to put us up, hopefully, 7-0 against this high-powered Cleveland Browns offense. So let me make this here. I'm not talking on kicks this game. I'm not talking it when I learned my lesson last week when I was trying to focus and make kicks. I was doing too much talking. Let's angle this kick a little bit. I'm confident. Oh,
it was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
That ain't happening today. I'm shutting my trap and I'm locked in and laser focused when it comes to kicks. Anyways, it's now 2nd and 10 here from the 25. So Watson gonna give it, and what is that? Diami Brown. Okay, hold on a second. Hold the phone. I didn't switch this to something crazy, did I? Like maybe all pro. I mean, I never mess with those things. No, it's still on all Madden. All right, okay. I guess that's just what the Cleveland Browns do in this game. I'm not sure, but anyways, it is 3rd and 10. We saw this before with the Browns too. Are the Browns just like bugged in this game? Are they just glitched? I don't know, but I do know it's 3rd and 10, and I do know that that is not going to be a drop. That is David Bell converting it. I thought maybe we stopped him a couple inches short of the goal line, but he got exactly what he needed. Haven't had any INTs in quite a while. It'd be nice to get a couple of those puppies in this game. Greedy Williams started off the season getting a ton of them, but haven't really gotten any more since then. And Amari Cooper going to catch it, but only a gain of 1 as he does go out of bounds. Having a pretty good season, it looks like. And there's that ball was floating around there again. What's going on? What's the voodoo magic that we're seeing here in First Energy Stadium? We got star receivers dropping wide open passes. We got footballs flying around. I don't know. Something's going on here in First Energy. I don't like it. Or maybe I do like it. I don't know. That's going to be Diami Brown not dropping that one. And Deshaun Watson over 100 yards in this first quarter. So got to watch him. The Browns are outpassing us vastly. They haven't really looked Nick Chubb's way, which I'm kind of surprised about. And had it not been for that goal line stand on 4th down, this game would be tied, but it is not tied. And our defense did have a big goal line stand. So now it's 1st and 10, probably going to be a run to Chubb, which it is. Akeem Davis-Gaither and John Johnson are there to limit Chubb to only a gain of 4. All right, guys, just don't get beat over top here, please. Don't get beat over top. Guard the middle of the field. We're not guarding the middle of the field because Amari Cooper is right there sitting down and catching that for a big chain mover. And now Watson up to 115 yards already, and we just started the second quarter. Do I actually want him to start giving the ball to Nick Chubb? I don't know. I should probably be careful what I wish for, because I could see that not going in my favor. But Watson is just completing passes, getting all his receivers involved here, and there's just no what's going on. I'm telling you, Diami Brown was doing some exorcist type stuff. There is some voodoo magic or something going on here in First Energy Stadium. We need to bring out the shaman. We need to bring out the sage and cleanse the atmosphere, because people are doing some weird stuff here. 2nd and 9 here. I'm used to in the safety too, by the way, which I don't normally do, but I just don't know what else to do, and that's a pick. That's a pick. Who is that? That's Akeem Davis-Gaither playing coverage in the end zone. Wow. You don't see that too often. Akeem Davis-Gaither, not really known for his pass coverage type of ability. He was looking for Diami Brown there, but Akeem Davis-Gaither was right there going step for step. And I just said a couple moments ago, we need some INTs. We just got one there, and that puts us in the driver's seat. But got to capitalize on it, though. That's the thing. When you're gifted with turnovers and stuff like that, doesn't mean a thing if you don't capitalize on it. So let's just go ahead and do that, shall we? T. Higgins. Okay, we threw it at T. Higgins' feet. He's a good receiver, but he's not going to be able to catch it with his feet. 2nd and 10 now from the 20. We're going to drop back, and we're going to roll out with Sanders. Sanders has some daylight, but just going to go out of bounds. because I do not want JOK swatting that thing or forcing a fumble, which he probably would do. Damon Sanders probably leads the league in fumbles by this point. But 3rd and 4 here, we're going to come out some slant game. Hopefully, we can pick this up. It's John Mechie. I see him open in the middle of the field, and that was a very good read by Sanders. Sanders now almost at 100 yards, and he is also very accurate to start this thing out. Now Damon Sanders has some of his favorite fellas back in this game. He's got T. Higgins. He's got Bruce Joyner, some of his big targets. He's got Jedrick Wills back in blocking for him. He's also got Shaq Mason. So I don't know. Maybe this is what we needed. Oh, look at Dom. Look at the moves. And Dom fumbled it. Oh, my God. Thank you, Bruce Joyner. Dom Fitzpatrick, you, sir, would have just went to timeout.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
Because he fumbled it, and that was actually T. Higgins that picked that up. But thank God for that. It was a good run by Dom, and it was a good gain. But he just got that ball jarred loose. Had T. Higgins not have been there, I would have cried. Yep, I would have cried. You guys would have seen it. I don't have to cry because T. Higgins just saved the day. I think T might be able to grab this in the end zone. We're going to put him on a, you know what? And we're going to put Bruce Joyner on a streak as well, because maybe we can lead that safety over to the right and give T a little bit of space that he might need. Oh, it's double coverage, but can T moss somebody? That was almost intercepted off the bobble. Wow. Okay, that was me, that was me just being a little bit too aggressive, but I got my big body receiver back, man. Come on now. I got my big body receiver back. Bruce Joyner, you are going to block Myles Garrett because we don't like him around here. He is no bueno at all. Got 3 wide receivers to our left, so hopefully one of them guys can get open. It's Mechie again, and I had to throw out of the sack. Even though I double-teamed Myles Garrett, he was still there in the backfield to get me. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't like this. It's 3rd and 10. We're on the 32. So hopefully we can pick this up, but I just don't know. It's T again. It's got to be T again. It's got to be T again, and he had it. No. In the back corner of the end zone, he had it, but it was jarred loose at the last second. So now I am being extremely quiet here because I have to make this with Tyler Bass. There we go. That should be a good kick. That should be a good kick, and it is. So, all right, going up 10-0. I'm okay with that. It's not really what I wanted. I still think that was a good decision to try to hit T. Higgins there in the corner of the end zone. Didn't really pan out, but points on the scoreboard are always good. Watson has 3 wide receivers lined up to his right, and that is going to be a catch to Amari Cooper, and he just, wow, shoved Greedy Williams. And Greedy Williams, also a former Cleveland Brown, by the way. So we have on our team Greedy Williams, John Johnson III, Grant Delpit, and Jedrick Wills, all former Cleveland Browns. So we pretty much got the Browns' old roster on defense and as a guard. Back in the red zone, which Deshaun Watson and company have had no trouble getting there in this game. So hopefully we can, I was usuring the man that was guarding David Njoku. That was Denzel Perryman. He completely shook me out of my jock strap. I no longer have a jock. It is somewhere on that perfectly manicured field here at First Energy Stadium. And that was just a good play by Watson and Njoku. Very hard to usurp linebackers, or at least I think so. That's not one of my strong suits. I got to be honest with you. So now it's 1st and goal. 9 yards to go until the promised land. We'll see what Watson does. And that is Diami Brown, which was a weird animation. There was like, oh, Joel Bitonio, do not jump on Diami Brown's back. You will break that man in half, please. You are a big fella. But yeah, that was like, there was a couple receivers there. Diami Brown ran into David Bell, but it's a score, and now the Browns draw a little bit closer. Gotta kind of try to drain some of this clock, too. I do not want to give the Browns too much time to score here, but it is 1st and 10, so let's go ahead and snap this ball here, pick up something positive, hopefully. It's Michael Blount. All right, pickup of about 5-4, they say. I can live with that, not mad at that at all. It's 2nd and 6. We're going to let a little bit of this time tick off here. I think it's a good time to actually go screen game to Dom Fitzpatrick. So maybe if we can get some good blockers there on the left side, Dom could be able to find some space. Blitzers are coming in hot and heavy, and Shaq Mason or Rodney Hudson, one of those 2 guys was right there, but unfortunately only picked up 4. I think this is 4 down territory, so you know what? I can see McCole Hardman getting, well, now they finally bring somebody up there. But I think we could maybe get McCole Hardman and or T. Higgins on this one here. We're going to give McCole a chance. We're going to give McCole a chance. There he is, Southwest McCole. The terminal is open today. It is clear skies, no turbulence. I was about to do an inside zone to Dom Fitzpatrick, but I just saw there was no coverage. I audibled it. The safety came up and he decided to guard McCole, but you know what? Timeout. I didn't think that much time was going to come off with that accelerated clock, but it did. And now we got 8 seconds, so got to be a little bit careful. All right, 1st and goal here. Depending on what these linebackers do, maybe we could have Jamal Agnew on the slant. Jamal Agnew still on this team. Don't forget about him. Have not called his name too much. He's been more so a kick returner in this one, but Jamal Agnew still in a couple formation subs, and he just caught that thing on the slant. That was perfect, leaving the Browns with only 5 seconds on this clock, hopefully going up 17-7 going into the locker room. Still got to make sure I'm quiet on these kicks, but that's a good one. And man, oh man, okay. So I am liking the energy here at First Energy. I think maybe we cleansed some of that bad juju that was in the air, some of those spirits. We got those spirits to go back to the afterlife because they were possessing some folks here. And all right, this has been a great half of football. 17-7 going into the locker room. I'm still not comfortable because I know you guys have seen me blow first half leads many times, but we're playing pretty good. I mean, we got 41 rushing yards compared to the Browns 18. Passing yards are virtually identical, but we have that one big interception by Akeem Davis-Gaither, and I made a field goal earlier, so hooray for that. Hooray! So I am not changing anything when it comes to our focuses. What did I do? I did blitz counter was our offensive focus, and Myles Garrett still has at least 1 sack, and I did defend short pass on Deshaun Watson. I'm keeping it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And when is the last time that I have double dipped on touchdowns? Scored a touchdown before a halftime and then scored a touchdown on our opening drive of the second half. It's been a while, guys, and hopefully I can find a way to do that in this game. Damon Sanders playing good football, turnover free. So you love to see that. Dom Fitzpatrick also running pretty good in his own right. Nothing crazy, but formidable, I would say. And yeah, we're going to actually give it to Dom here on the outside zone. We're going to bring over Ricky Seals-Jones as an extra blocker, and we're going to ID up the mic as this guy right here. So running it away from Miles Sanders seems like a good option, but it's not going to matter because Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is there to meet us for no gain. 2nd and 10 now. We'll hit him with a little bit of play action out of single back. Who wants to get open? Is it McCole again? Did he get the feed in? He did. McCole Hardman, thank you. After being very quiet, actually silent, no catches in the last game against the Bills. He's got 3 catches for 72 now, and he is putting on a show. I would say that Southwest McCole Airlines are open, and we are flying good. It is clear skies, so that much I love to see. 1st and 10 now. We'll give it to Dom out of the I formation. Can we get a good block? We do, but Jordan Fuller and Deion Jones and company were there before we could get it to the second level, which is kind of unfortunate because I like getting it to the second level. I don't know about you guys, but I love getting it to the second level. So now 2nd and 4 here. We're going to come out with a bunch to the right. See who wants to get open. I think it's T. Oh, yeah, it is T. Sat down on that curl route, caught it in the middle of the field. Myles Garrett was playing a wrestling match there with Jedrick Wills, and he almost won, but we were able to get it off just in the nick of time. We'll come out single back, give it to Dom on the single back wham, and okay, or slam, I should say. It wasn't the wham. That one was the slam. Sometimes you got to do the wham. Sometimes you got to do the slam. That time we did the slam, and maybe we should have done the wham.
What?
Because Dom only picked up 3, but that's all right, though. Still a positive gain. Anything positive I am A-okay with. We'll come out in tight shotgun formation here. See if anybody can get open. Damon Sanders, just throw it away. Thank you, because Myles Garrett was about to end your career. 3rd and 7 here. We're coming out empty. Maybe I see T. Higgins getting pressed. Also, let's go ahead and double team Myles Garrett. That seems like a smart thing to do. And let's just hopefully pick this up. I see Michael Blount Jr., our rookie, getting open in the middle of the field. Yes, he has played so good for us this season. I got to check the awards because maybe he could be up there for Rookie of the Year. I'm not 100% sure. But after last game, and I think the game even prior to that, he might be. Could have some slants open, but I'm okay with bringing in Tyler Bass if we have to. So we'll come out empty. Maybe somebody can get open. And it's John. It's John Mechie. Hang on to that pigskin. He does. Okay. I'm glad we didn't trade John Mechie. I got to be honest. Really glad we didn't because he's playing really good in this one. And hopefully, and that's a double dip. A double dip. We scored a touchdown with 5 seconds to go in the first half. This is our opening drive. We scored a TD on this drive, and that is the definition, my friends, of a double dip. With the way that Watson has played, you feel like the Browns should just have more than 7 points, but they don't. Very strange, and there's Javon Hargrave, yes. And I will say, that is all me. I usurped Javon Hargrave on that one, hit him with a nice spin move, and Javon Hargrave put Wyatt Teller in the spin cycle there and was able to get to Deshaun Watson. Sacks and INTs have been hard to come by in this season, and we got one of each today, so I will certainly take that. And we dropped Deshaun Watson for a loss of 4. Very nice indeed. Let's shade inside and just make sure we cover the middle of the field here, because that is where Watson typically will go, which he will go there. And there's David Bell, but I usurped on Akeem Davis-Gaither and was able to limit him to only a gain of 7. 3rd and 9. We're coming out in our Tampa nickel set here. Going to have to watch Amari Cooper and Nick Chubb, so I'm going to usurp on Robert Quinn. Maybe that will be just the extra bit of coverage that we need. It's going to be an up-top shot to David Bell, and there's John Johnson saying, look, I used to do this here in First Energy Stadium. I know how every single blade of grass is aligned. I know where to jump. I know where to run. Am I making any sense? Probably not. But what I'm trying to say, that's a terrible, terrible punt from the Scottish Hammer. When I made that trade, it messed up all my formation subs, which I really hate because I was trying to get Khalid Kramer in here, and now my formation subs are all screwed up. One good thing I did here with Madden 24 is they are going to have the option to turn off the auto reorder depth chart, which to me is just a huge breath of fresh air. That's like a freaking hallelujah. Get up and shake your hands and praise, because every time in this game, I almost said in this dumb game, but it's not dumb. I enjoy it. But every time in this game, somebody gets injured, you make a trade, you sign a free agent, they completely reorder your depth chart, and I don't like that. So it's 1st and 10 here. I might try a deep bomb to Higgins, or maybe I'll just check it down to Michael Blount. I don't know. Or maybe none of them. Maybe I'll go up top to Bruce, and maybe it'll just be an early breakup. 3rd and 7. Let's pick this up and keep this drive going, shall we? Who's open? Who is that? Is that Ronnie Ellerby? Okay, maybe should have high pointed that thing. 54-yard field goal from Tyler Bass. So I am going to stop talking right now. I think I'm still off, and I am. So, all right. I mean, 54 yards. That's nothing to laugh at. So I'm not tremendously unhappy with that. But kicking is a little difficult. I'll be honest. I wish I had somebody like Justin Tucker or Evan McPherson who has that slow down the kicking meter ability. That would make my life a lot easier, but that's okay. You know, we're getting very close to the 4th quarter here, so just got to hang on. And there's another sack. Javon Hargrave might be leading our team in sacks now. I know he had a couple last week and or the week prior, and he's got 2 today. So Javon Hargrave stepping up and playing good. Now we got them in a 3rd and 15. So you guys know what time it is. Yes, pass, shade over top. Just don't let me get beat deep. And hopefully, you know, we can get the ball back and try to keep this lead going. Somebody please tackle De'Ami Brown. We do. That was way too close for comfort. And I think this is definitely probably 4-down territory. For Cleveland, it's 4th and 1. They've only got 7 points on the scoreboard. We're going to go into the 4th quarter here, but I would have to imagine that Kevin Stefanski and his staff will attempt to go for this. So Armadillo's defense, you had a 4th down stand earlier. Do you have one more left in the tank? It definitely is for sure going to be a passing situation here. I would be highly surprised if Watson gives this ball to Nick Chubb, which he will not. And somehow, is that David Njoku? No, that was Amari Cooper. Somehow he caught that in blanket coverage. Old Father Time, though, is not Deshaun Watson's friend. So if we can just hang on, even if the Browns score on this drive, I don't want them to score, but even if they're gonna score, they're gonna score because De'Ami Brown was just open. Nobody wanted to guard him. He's got 2 touchdowns now in this game. I mean, that was definitely worst case scenario because not only did the Browns score, but that was a quick strike. And I am telling you right now, guys, a fourth quarter collapse, I'm not going to let it happen. Every fiber of my being is going to be locked in, engaged, laser focused. We've played so well in this game, and I am not about to collapse here in the fourth quarter. I hope I don't have to do a poorly edited flashback later on remembering this moment because that would be terrible. So let's just go out and get it. HDD, heavy dose of Dom. We are going to need a heavy dose of Dom Fitzpatrick, and that is exactly what I need from you, Dom Fitzpatrick. Thank you. Dom now up to 15 rushes for 73 yards, and that is what I am going to try to do on this drive. HB slam time for Dom. Dom's got a big hole. That's what I need. Perhaps this defense starting to run a little bit thin on the tread with these old tires because Dom is getting some good holes, some Stanley Yelnats size holes, dare I say, and that is exactly what we want to see in this fourth quarter. Oh, great. Now Myles Garrett is in the zone, so that is exactly what I wanted to see on this 3rd and 19. We got to double team him, and we got to also have Dom block for us because this is one that we got to pick up. So I'm looking on that right side, maybe T. Higgins, maybe John Mechie. We'll see who wants to get open. I think, well, it's another freaking sack by Myles Garrett. So what a time for him to come alive. And now this game is going to be a little bit more closer, which is not a word, that's not something, that's not proper pronunciation, but whatever. It's going to be closer than I want it to be. I didn't take as much time off that clock as I wanted to either. I really didn't. So Max Beretta, secret agent of this team, is in to kick this thing away. Need a good punt here. That will do. And can we hold on for 6 more minutes? That's all I'm asking you, armadillos. Just hold on for 6 more minutes, please, and I will be happy. Why do I just see bad things happening, man? Why do I just see bad things happening? I don't know. We only got to hang on for about 5 more minutes. I'm sure it's going to be a screen. It's a screen. It's a screen. I even read it. I read it. Yes. Okay. Wow. All right, lost it 2. I could tell from 21 Jump Street, shout out to Johnny Depp, that was going to be a screen. We almost got to Watson, and Nick Chubb almost broke free. I was U-turning on Marcus Davenport, but there was a good block that was thrown his way. But the end result is a loss of 2, which I am okay with. I will take that. 2nd and 12 now. Father Time not on Cleveland's side. Clock is ticking. Clock is ticking. Can we get to Watson? We're going to let him take off, really? Okay, we have blanket coverage downfield, but we did let Deshaun Watson take off, and now it is 3rd and 2. 4 minutes to go in the ball game. This thing should not be this close. Probably going to be a run to Nick Chubb, I would imagine. So got to be mindful of that. It is going to be a run to Nick Chubb, and we got him. Alan Schmidt stuffed him. Well, this could be a field goal. I could see this going either way. It's a 10-point game. It could be a field goal because the Browns need 2 scores anyways, and it is going to be a field goal. Okay, very interesting. So they're probably going to make this, I'm sure, with Jason Sanders. Maybe not, though. We'll see. They are going to make it. Okay. So if we can just either drain this whole clock or score on this drive, one of those 2 things, no interceptions, no fumbles, we will get out of First Energy Stadium with a W. We're going to need some chain movers here because we still got the 2-minute warning, plus Cleveland has all of their timeouts, but that's a good start from Dom. Dom putting on his dancing shoes, going footloose on him, and I like that. I like that indeed. I think that we still need to go to Dom right now, just kind of settle down a little bit. Hopefully he can just pick this up on 2nd down, which he will. Dom running very good. Big hit laid out there by Epps. Luckily, Dom was able to hold on to it. And hey, he goes over 100 yards, which is just great to see. I said before the game, I'd like to see him at a $125. Maybe he'll actually get there. We should run it, but I think we just really need to pick this up. And if I can dial up a good play here, which I have one in mind that I want to use. If we can dial up a good play here, we might actually be able to pick this up. And if we can just pick this up, oh my God, that would be awesome. I just want to get out of here with the win. So let's not get freaking sacked by Myles Garrett. That would be terrible. There's Michael Blount. Yes, don't fumble it. Hang on to it. That is gonna be game. That is what I am talking about, baby. The sweet taste of revenge. Nothing against the Cleveland Browns, but you were public enemy number one in this game for me, because I really needed a victory after what happened last week in Buffalo. And now we are just going to come out QB kneel mode, and this is going to be game. Game got a little bit more close than I would have liked it to be. A little too close for comfort there in that fourth quarter, but we get a victory, and a victory is a victory no matter how you look at it. 24-17 to the Armadillos, and we played pretty good in that game. So did the Browns, but we did just enough of the extra stuff like that interception, the fourth down goal line stand. We were clean, no turnovers from us. Almost had one fumble from Dom Fitzpatrick, but luckily T. Higgins saved it, and we were pretty much even on passing yards. But how about rushing? Very strange game, because Deshaun Watson really never even tried to get Nick Chubb involved. He was pretty content just kind of doing it himself, shouldering the load and going through the air. But let's take a look at the stats here and see how we finish. So Damon Sanders, bounce back game indeed, a 135.2 quarterback rating. He was 72% completion through the air, 267 yards, 3 touchdowns, and quite possibly the biggest stat line of the evening, 0 interceptions. Dom Fitzpatrick, 107 yards, averaged almost 5 yards per carry. Nick Chubb, man, barely even got the ball. I do not understand it. Only 8 attempts. That is unheard of. Maybe 28 attempts is more like it for Nick Chubb. Receiving, Diami Brown did really good. So did Nick Chubb. So did Cooper. We kind of spread the ball around evenly. T. Higgins, 4 for 51, had that touchdown. John Mechie, 4 for 47. He had a touchdown. McCole Hardman, 3 for 72. Took a couple deep shots to him. And nobody really had like a crazy game, but we didn't need to. It was, we were just playing distributized football. Is that a word? I don't think that it is.
May God have mercy on your soul.
Myles Garrett was a game wrecker, but so was Javon Hargrave, 2 sacks for him. And of course, Akeem Davis-Gaither gets his first INT of the season. Very, very interesting. So we are going to improve to 5-3. Really needed that. Got to see what the Colts and the Titans did this week. Probably won't know that until after this game. Well, the Titans are 5-2. The Colts are 5-3. Hopefully we can shoot up to at least second place in the division, or maybe even first place, depending on what happens. And we got our bye week next week too. So I think I'll just sim into the bye week, see if anything crazy comes on. Normally I would use the bye week for going over the draft prospects, but we're not going to do all that because this is the last season as the Armadillos. So let's see what the media has to say. Jonathan Coachman, former WWE commentator, not sure why he is in this game, but he says, at the midway point, your team's in a good spot. How far do you think this team can go? I don't know. How far do you think this team can go, guys? I believe we're showing this is a Super Bowl caliber team. There's lots of football left, but it's time to think big. The only fitting way to send this Armadillos team off into the sunset, I think, would be to win a Super Bowl. So let's advance into the bye week, see if anything crazy happens, and more importantly, just see what the standings are looking like. So the Indianapolis Colts, they did lose, so that puts us into second place in the AFC South. It looks like the Titans had their bye week too, so nothing changes there. But we're here in week 9, guys. I'm on good pace to complete this. I really want to complete this season before Madden 24 comes out. That's the goal. It's going to be close. Madden 24 about 30 something days away, and we're about to be in week 10 of this franchise. So I'm going to try to grind out the videos as much as I can. I want to have some closure. I want to see how this Armadillos Cupcake Relocation Franchise ends. So I'm going to keep grinding out the content. I appreciate all you guys for sticking with me. I'm loving the engagement in the comments. I'm loving the engagement with some of my subscribers here. You guys are awesome. And make sure you stay tuned, because with Madden 24 around the corner, there is lots, and I mean lots, of great content around the corner. So that's going to do it for me tonight, guys. As always, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I will catch you on the next one. Until then, peace.